Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at whether renting is actually throwing your money away, or is there a time when renting instead of buying makes more sense? For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Bill, and you found Your Family Money Coach, where we look to help families gain control of their finances, particularly their personal finances, and help to level up to the next area that matters to them with their financial goals. We're going to give you tips, tricks, and advice along the way. But like I said, today we're talking about rent. So let's dive in. So there's a myth that says renting is the same as just throwing your money away or burning piles of cash in the middle of your floor. If you don't own a home, you're not moving forward. Well, I want to challenge that today because while home ownership is important in the long term, there are situations when renting makes more sense. So let's look at those. First of all, it's important to recognize that renting is part of our four walls, the essential things that we need to live. You've got utilities, food, transportation, and shelter. So if you're renting a place to live, you're not throwing your money away. You're simply providing for one of those four walls. In the long term, do we want to own? Yes, I believe everyone should own a home in the long term. However, it's not always the case, and it doesn't mean that renting is inherently bad or that renting is never a good idea. So let's look at another reason why. So one of the times that renting makes a lot of sense is if you're going to move within the next 5 years. Maybe you're an active military member. Maybe you have a job that moves around a lot that's not military. Maybe you just don't quite know where you want to be yet. You're trying some things out. The reality is, if you're going to move within the next 5 years, there is no point in setting roots and buying a home. As we could really use your help, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share with your friends if you found this valuable or helpful. If there are things that you would like to hear more about or like to understand as it relates to personal finance, feel free to drop that in the comments below, and we'll take a look at that and see if we can create those videos for you to talk about the things that matter most to you. The reason to avoid it is simple. You're going to find the cost involved with buying and selling homes is going to be too high to outweigh any benefits of actually owning. You could even end up going backwards. The reality is you've got closing fees, you've got lawyers, you've got real estate agents to pay, a lot of things. Could be staging. There's a ton of expenses that come with buying and selling that if you don't include them in the calculation, end up setting you back. We know that over a 5-year period, you're likely to come out ahead. And so if you're going to be setting roots for 5 years, it might make sense for you to buy. Another reason to rent instead of buy right away is that you actually can't afford to buy. So there's a few things involved in that conversation, and I'm not going to go in depth in them in this video, but stay tuned because there will be future videos that touch on specifically how do I know when I'm ready to buy. But if you can't afford to buy a house, you shouldn't buy one. Anybody that tells you that homeownership is the right move when you can't afford it, they don't know what they're talking about. And quite frankly, they're setting you up for failure. So in those situations, renting is going to get you further ahead. So in close, renting may be a better option right now for you if you plan on moving in the next 5 years, or if you simply can't afford to buy. Don't feel pressured to do something you're not ready for. It's okay to wait. And remember, it's part of your four walls. It's not throwing money away when you're providing for an essential part of life. Thanks so much, guys, for stopping by the channel. I'm just super excited to be here to coach and mentor and give advice. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video coming up soon.